You are listening to Arirang Radio's Wonders of Jeju. This is a segment where we tell you about the lives of people living right here on the island. I'm your host, AK. This is Humans of Jeju. Well, on Humans of Jeju, we introduce people who are living here Jeju-do Island who, in a very various ways. So here we are with Red Hap Jack.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Yes, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Chuseok is over.
It's over.
Yeah, how was your Chuseok then?
It was just a lot of eating.
And drinking.
Yes. Well, eating and yes, enjoying.
Why are you hiding that? That's the point. That's the main point that you've been doing
right
this. Right? And
yeah,
it's really that's what I'm doing. That's what I've been doing during Chuseok holiday. But this Chuseok, it was kind of an exception, and I didn't really drink much. But why my voice doesn't work as as usual, I don't understand.
Maybe a lot of screaming, shouting,
no, I didn't do
with other people.
Oh my god! Even during the Chuseok holiday, there's no hospitals open.
Yes,
there are hospitals or clinics that are open, but specific clinics like ENT doctor or some I don't know, dermatology or just some specific kind of clinic doesn't is not open, and so I couldn't go. But I got a pill. It didn't work, and still I got this symptom.
Well, you got to take care of your body.
Yes, but I'm really jealous of you. You've been drinking, and you're okay with that.
No, I've actually gained some weight right now, so I feel very heavy. You
have?
And
Really?
and but I'm starting to feel good. Starting to feel good.
But anyway, it sounds like you've had a really nice holiday, right?
Yes, it was great. I love spending time with my relatives. They all came, my relatives in the mainland came down. Everybody got together. So it was really good.
Yeah. Do you have a big family?
Compared to, I think, when I talk with other people, I noticed our family is kind of big. I think.
Right. You're even now living nearby relatives a lot, right?
Yeah. Most Seogwipo people don't leave Seogwipo, I think. Seogwipo people seem to just stay in Seogwipo.
Yeah, very communal culture.
Once you
really,
leave Seogwipo, it feels awkward, so you kind of have to come back.
But anyways, it sounds like you had a great day, and you're back into normal life, and welcome.
I'm not sure if I'm back, but I'm trying to be back. All
right, so speaking of which, why don't we jump right into the person you're introducing today?
Yeah, so let's start by listening to today's Human of Jeju.
Great.
반갑습니다. 지구를 지키는 농부 안예숙,
강성길입니다. 저희는 주례정원 발영이라는 그 친환경 사계절 힐링 체험 농원을 운영하고 있고, 그 봄에는 귤꽃, 여름에는 풋귤, 가을에는 익은 주황색 귤 따기 체험 및 그 생태 체험 프로그램으로 사계절 운영하고 있습니다.
All right, tell us about them.
Yes, so today's Humans of Jeju are a couple who are farmers dedicated to protecting the earth. Their names are Yi-sook, the wife, and Kang, the husband.
Yep.
And they run an eco-friendly, year-round healing experience farm called the Garden Baryeong, which is Garden of Tangerines Baryeong. Throughout the years, they run various ecological experience programs and programs according to the seasons.
Yeah.
So in spring, they offer tangerine blossom experiences. In summer, it's the green tangerine picking. And in fall, it's the ripe orange tangerine picking.
Wow, sounds like a heaven, but I know farming is not that easy. So when you think of Jeju, tangerine comes to my mind. And it's been a while since we've heard a story about farmers, finally. So how did the two of them start farming on Jeju?
Yeah, so let's hear from them directly first.
Great.
원래는 저희가 제주도에서 태어났어요. 둘 다. 그런데 직장 문제로 서울에서 한 17년 직장 생활을 했고요. 그러다가 이제 부모님이 귤농사를 한 50년 지었는데 이제 힘들어서 이제 귤농사를 그만해야겠다 말씀을 하셔서 좀 조기 퇴직을 하고 부모님의 가업을 잇기 위해서 내려왔습니다. 그래서 농사를 짓게 됐고요.
Please.
Yes, so the couple was born in Jeju, but they worked in Seoul for 17 years. And when Yi-sook's parents, who had been farming tangerine for 50 years, said they were too tired and wanted to stop, the couple retired and they moved to Jeju. They took over the family business, becoming farmers themselves.
All right, so taking over a family business sounds like a wonderful thing, right? I'm also curious about the name 규래 정원 발영, Garden of Tangerines Baryeong. So what does that mean?
Yes, and let's listen to them explain.
Great.
발영은 제주도 말이고요. 척박한 중산간 땅에 농사 짓기가 어려운 이제 돌들은 많고, 그래서 돌들을 이제 다 드러내서 큰 이제 울타리를 쳐서 동네 마을 사람들이 공동체를 이뤄서 거기서 키우던 소나말들을 그 울타리 안에 다 집어넣어가지고 똥오줌 싸게 해서 그 배설물들이 축적되면서 이제 그 농사 지을 수 있는 기름진 땅으로 만들어가는 과정을 발행한다라고 하는 이제 선조들이 지혜가 담긴 이제 유기농의 원조가 아닌가. 그래서 발영의 옛 그 말처럼 그렇게 이제 친환경으로 농사를 실천하고 있습니다. 규래정원 발영은 화학비료나 화학농약을 사용하지 않고 바닷물 농법으로 농사를 지으면서 건강하고 안전한 먹거리, 그리고 건강하고 힐링할 수 있는 안전한 공간을 만들어서 지구 생태계가 좀 더 건강해질 수 있도록 그런 농장을 좀 실험적으로 이제 실천하고 있습니다.
All right.
Yes, so the name 규래 정원 means Garden of Tangerines, which is, everyone understands what that means. But the most important part of the farm's name is actually Baryeong.
Yeah.
And Baryeong is actually a Jeju language word. Historically, the harsh mid-mountain land of Jeju was difficult for farming due to its, the rocky nature. And the villagers used to clear the land filled with stones and build large fences around the land that was several times larger than a sports field. So they would then form a community to manage the land with cattle or horses. As the manures from these animals build up, the barren land would eventually turn into a fertile ground suitable for farming.
Oh.
And this process is referred to as 발영하다.
Wow, what a beautiful word.
Yeah, so it reflects the wisdom of Jeju ancestors. The couple thought the old term 발영 represented the origin of organic farming wisdom. So they used it to name of their farm.
Wow, it does.
And they practice organic farming in line with this traditional concept.
Wow, it's a beautiful name. So 발영 kind of like encapsulates all this meaning, right? Of those process of tangerine farming. So it's really wonderful to know that there's such a deep meaning behind the name 발영. So which reflects the couple's farming philosophy.
Yes, and they do not use any chemical fertilizers or pesticides at the Garden of Tangerines Baryeong. Instead, they employ seawater farming methods to produce healthy and safe food. And they are also creating an experimental farm to make a healthier and safer space, aiming to improve the Earth's ecosystem.
Wow, and it seems like a must-visit place for many people coming to Jeju, right? So today we are introducing the story of farmers Yi-sook and Kang Seong-gil, who are dedicated to protecting the earth. And they have taken over the tangerine farming that has been in the family for 50 years and has redesigned their farm, naming it 규래 정원 발영, Garden of Tangerine Baryeong. So since 발영 refers to the process of making barren land fertile, it seems that the name is deeply connected to their farming philosophy. What do you think?
Yes, and that's exactly right. The term 발영 is directly linked to the farmer's philosophy. So let's hear more from them first.
Yes, please.
우리 이제 발영의 철학이 땅, 생명, 이제 지구를 이제 살리자는 이제 철학으로 농사를 짓고 있는데, 생태순환 농법, 외부 자원을 최소화시켜 가지고 내부에서 이제 있는 이제 자원을 가지고 퇴비화시키고 건강한 농장을 만드는데, 바닷물을 사용하는 첫 번째 이유는 미네랄이에요. 바닷물에는 이제 한 75종의 미네랄과 무기물이 이렇게 들어있는데 그 미네랄이 식물들의 이제 건강을 보장해주고 병해충도 어느 정도 예방해주는 효과를 볼 수 있고요. 그리고 초생재배법은 이제 풀을 키우는 농법이거든요.
Please.
Yeah, so the philosophy behind Baryeong is to save the land, life, and the earth. And they believe that the answer lies in organic farming. So to rejuvenate the land, they use two farming methods. One is the previously mentioned seawater farming method, and the other is the green manure method. Both methods are part of an ecological recycling farming approach, meaning they minimize external resources and compost internal resources to create a healthy farm.
Interesting. So since I'm not really familiar with farming, this sounds quite new to me. So could you explain more about the green manure method?
So typically farming involves killing weeds and focusing on crops. However, this couple emphasizes that various life forms inhabit those weeds. Moreover, diverse plants, even if not crops, can help combat global warming. So the green manure method is about fostering a variety of life forms. More specifically, it involves growing weeds, then cutting them down and using them as cover. This approach follows the principles of ecological recycling. And by growing these plants and then returning them to the soil, the land naturally becomes fertile and less prone to pests and disease.
Wow, interesting. So farming really seems like a science to me. And I've learned something new as Jeju resident with the green manure method. So now I'm curious about the seawater farming methods. Was that right? So does it involve growing crops with seawater? Is that even possible?
And let's hear from them first.
Yes, please.
성공 사례 중에 바닷물 농법이 있는데 산 중턱에서 바닷물 농법으로 한 2,000여 평 채소를 가꾸더라고요.
채소 하시는 분이.
그래서 이제 육지 같은 경우는 산 중턱하고 바다는 한 뭐 서너 시간 이상 거리인데 차로 그분 나름대로 노하우 천일염을 가져다 물에 이제 농도에 맞춰서 물에 녹이면은 바닷물 농도를 만들고 그에 맞춰서 채소에 맞게 희석해서 이제 뿌리는데 제주도는 너무 좋은 게 그렇게 이제 천일염을 살 필요가 없어요. 처음에는 이제 들통을 이제 한 10개 정도 이제 트럭에 싣고 가서 시원하게 좀 놀다가 발도 담그고 해서 물통에다가 싣고 와서 처음에는 한 1년 동안은 그렇게 했는데 그게 힘들더라고요. 그러니까 그 양수기가 있더라고요.
네, 작은 거 미니로.
예, 양수기에서 이제 펌프죠, 펌프. 이제 트럭 이제 배터리에 연결해서 이제 하는 양수기를 설치했더니만 바닷물 떠오기는 아주 쉬워요. 바닷물이 이제 염분 성분, 나트륨 성분 때문에 그 채소, 포도, 뭐 감귤나무에 따라 가지고 그 물과 희석하는 농도가 다 달라요. 그 농도에 맞춰 가지고 희석해서 이제 사용을 합니다.
땀물 뿌릴 때 기분이 굉장히 좋아요. 예. 그 밑에 앉아 있으면 막 그 분수처럼 샥 퍼지니까.
Alright, please.
Yeah, so before we get into what husband Kang Seong-gil mentioned, let me explain something. The couple had been considering continuing the family farming business for a long time before they took over the tangerine farm. And when they were in Seoul, they had been steadily studying farming and farming on a city vegetable garden on the weekends. So they were already prepared farmers, and after their retirement they also received education as part of the returning farmer program. And during this training they learned about the seawater farming method. They found out about a farmer with a 2,000 pyong, which is 6,600 square meters or 1.6 acres, a vegetable field halfway up a mountain, who was using seawater farming. So Kang Seong-gil was curious about how this was possible given the distance from the sea on the mainland and looked into it farther. And the farmer was actually using solar salt to adjust the concentration of water to mimic seawater.
Wow.
So Kang Seong-gil thought that since the sea is close in Jeju, they wouldn't need to buy solar salt, and that seawater farming would be suitable. So for the first year, they transported about 10 barrels of seawater by truck. And they mentioned they would go out, dip their feet in the sea, and even play while collecting the seawater. But as time went on, manually collecting the seawater became challenging. Then they then implemented a pump to transfer water to a mini irregulator system, which is connected to the truck's battery to install the pump and draw seawater. So now they could practice seawater farming with less difficulty. Also, seawater contains sodium, which varies in concentration depending on the vegetable. So they have to dilute the seawater to match the needs of the tangerine trees before applying it. And they also say it's very nice to sit under the tree when applying the seawater because they watch it and it's like watching the water spread like a fountain.
Oh, sounds like they're kids watching the water spread like a fountain. So it's fascinating that they're using seawater directly for farming. Wow. Yeah, I thought salt water doesn't work for farming, but yeah, it's really interesting. So they're truly growing tangerine trees that absorb the natural essence of Jeju, right? But anyway, today we are introducing the seawater farming method and nature-friendly farming practices through the story of farmers Yi-sook and Seong-gil. So their mission and farming philosophy involves protecting the earth, right, which you mentioned in the beginning. And this tangerine farming is especially meaningful to them because it's the land their parents farmed.
Yes, and that's right. But let's first hear what Yi-sook had to say about that.
Great.
친정 부모님이 여기서 농사를 지으셨는데 농사로 치면은 4대째예요. 예, 그리고 근농사로는 2대째고 그래서 제가 어렸을 때 여기서 나고 자랐고 그런 공간이기 때문에 남편보다는 좀 저한테 더 의미가 깊을 수 있고요. 그리고 또 부모님이 그 전에 농사를 지을 때는 그냥 크게 여기 이 농장이 와닿지 않았는데 제가 이제 자녀를 다 키우고 이제 그때 농사를 지으셨던 부모님의 나이가 돼서 여기 돌아왔을 때 그때 우리 부모님이 정말 많이 고생을 하셨겠구나 하는 마음 그리고 또 부모님도 12년 동안 50년 중에 12년을 또 친환경으로 농사를 지으셨어요. 땅을 건강하게 만들어서 저희한테 또 할 수 있는 기회를 주셨다는 거에 대해서 좀 감사한 마음이 들고요. 그리고 이 공간을 어떻게든 더 잘 꾸려나가야겠다 하는 그런 의무감 이런 것도 좀 있고 예, 그렇습니다. 또 다른 면에서는 저희 남편이 이제 본인의 그런 터전을 두고 여기에서 이렇게 함께 해주는 거에 대해서 감사하고 고맙게 생각하고 있습니다.
Please.
Yes, so according to her, Yi-sook's parents farmed this land, and in terms of farming alone, it's been in the family for 4 generations.
Yeah, that is pretty impressive. 4 generations. Like it sounds like they come from a long line of family, like lineage.
Yes, so in terms of tangerine farming alone, she mentioned that it's been 2 generations.
Wow.
Yi-sook grew up here and played in this space as a child, and we thought it might hold like a significant meaning for her. However, she said that the farm wasn't always meaningful to her from the beginning.
Yeah.
It was only after raising her children in the city and reaching her parents' age that she said she truly understood how much effort her parents must have put in it.
Yeah, kids probably learn something very meaningful or important after they have kids.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I still haven't learned that. So.
Yeah, me too. Me neither. But anyways, it seems that it takes a long time to fully appreciate a parent's heart.
Yes, and Yi-sook mentioned that her parents also practiced organic farming during the last 12 years of their 50-year farming career. And they passed on the land in good health to Yi-sook and her husband. She feels grateful for her parents' dedication and feels a sense of duty to take good care of the space. And additionally, she expressed gratitude for her husband, who is managing the farm with her despite having his own parents' land in Ewon.
So sweet. And it sounds like there's a lot of mutual gratitude between the farming couple, and I'm kind of jealous of that. Anyways, the landscape of Gyure Jeongwon Baryeong, Garden of Tangerines Baryeong, is a very beautiful place, and it's filled with various activities throughout the seasons, right?
Yes, and they hold workshops with like-minded people and have been organized. They even organize several music events. They are also hosting an event called the 전국 생물 다양성 대회, which is National Biodiversity Fair, on Saturday, September 28th, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Interesting.
The event will feature a direct market and ecological experience booths, providing an opportunity to appreciate the value of various forms of life.
Wow, interesting. So it sounds like a meaningful event on Jeju and to everyone, I guess. So I understand now why they call themselves earth-saving farmers. So finally, could you tell us about the place in Jeju they recommend for our listeners?
Yes, and let's listen to what they mentioned first.
Great.
발영이 있는 마을 이름이 선흘이에요. 제주도 동쪽 중산간에 있는데요. 이 선늘 마을 자체가 굉장히 예뻐요. 그리고 이 안에 람사르 습지로 지정된 동백동산 습지가 있어요. 그 동백동산으로 들어가는 그 곶자왈 길이 또 굉장히 예쁘고요. 그 습지도 굉장히 보존이 다 잘 돼 있어서 제주시나 제주도에 있는 분들도 그냥 평소에 이렇게 걸으러 많이 오시는 곳이거든요. 그리고 이 선늘 마을 자체의 길이 참 예뻐요. 옛날 그 길이 그대로 남아 있고 군데군데 작은 카페도 있고 작은 먹거리 하는 곳도 있고 그래서 그냥 마을 자체를 걸어도 좋고 습지를 걸어도 좋고 이렇게 선늘 마을을 걷는 거를 추천을 드려요.
Please.
Yes, so Yi-sook introduced the village called Seonger Village, where the Gyure Jeongwon Baryeong, the Garden of Tangerines Baryeong, is located. It's in the eastern mid-mountain area of Jeju and is described as a very beautiful place. There's a Ramsar designated Dongbek-dongsan, the Camellia Hill wetland, and the path leading into the Dongbek-dongsan, the Camellia Hill, is particularly lovely. And the wetland is well preserved and offers a glimpse into the area's biodiversity. And Yi-sook's affection for Seonger Village was evident in her description while making a recommendation as well. So she mentioned that the village itself is a picturesque with very well-preserved old path, and there are small cafes and eateries scattered throughout, making it a great place to explore like a trip.
Yeah, Seonger is a place where I go for my hair, hair like dressing, like hair salon.
So they have a salon there too.
Yeah, there's a one-person salon.
Oh, really?
So they only take like a one person, based on the like booking system, and I mean, the reason I'm telling you because it's time for me to go, and another reason I'm saying this is because I love driving through that road,
the village,
like
yes.
to go to my hair salon. Anyways, Seonger is definitely a beautiful place and I really highly recommend. But anyway, it sounds like a wonderful destination for all villagers, like village tourism in Jeju. And thank you so much for sharing all those beautiful things today and beautiful people. And I really appreciate that. And hope you have a wonderful week. And I'm going to see you next Thursday.
See you next week.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the segment. If you're curious to find out more about Jeju, we encourage you to go check out our website at arirangradio.com/Wonders of Jeju. Or you can check out our Facebook page at Wonders of Jeju, as well as our Instagram account at WOJ_Arirang. We are going to take you on a journey to learn more about what's happening on this island.